Hi, I'm Jimmy Chang, and we're here to talk about help with solving matrix multiplication. Now, there's two guidelines you want to think about when it comes to help with solving matrix multiplication. Number one, you should only multiply two matrices at once. And the other one is you have to be sure that the number of columns in one matrix has to equal the number of rows in the other matrix. So the number of columns in matrix number one has to equal the number of rows in columns number two. The resulting matrix is actually going to be the number of rows in matrix one and number of columns in matrix two. So got to keep that in mind. So for example, if you have a 2 by 3 multiplied by a matrix of 3 by 2, make sure that the columns and rows match for 1 and 2 respectively, and you're going to end up with a 2 by 2 matrix, okay? But if this was a 2 by 3 and you're multiplying it by a 4 by 2, you can't do it. So let's just use this as an illustration. Now, suppose we have a 2 by 3 matrix, 2 rows and 3 columns. Let's just say you have 3, 1, 0, and 1, negative 1, 0. Let's just say. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix, and you're multiplying it by a 3 by 2 matrix. So negative 1, 2, 0, 1, negative 2, 5. Okay? 2 by 3 times the 3 by 2, you're going to get a 2 by 2. So here's how this resulting matrix would work. Now, for this first entry, you're going to multiply the first row by the first column. So you'll have 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3, 1 times 0, which is 0, 0 times negative 2, which is also 0. Now, this entry over here, you're going to multiply this same first row by the second column. So 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1, 0 times 5 is going to give you 0. Now, you're going to add all these individual entries, mind you. Now, moving on, this is going to be the second row times this first column. So 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 0 is going to give you 0. 0 times negative 2 is also 0. And again, you're adding these together. And lastly, over here, this row times this column. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. 0 times 5 is going to give you 0. You're adding these together. Now, your final matrix is going to look like this. Negative 3 plus 0 is negative 3. 6 plus 1 plus 0 is 7. Negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. And 2 plus negative 1 plus 0 is going to be positive 1. So it's a little bit tedious, but as long as you follow the steps that we talked about here, you'll be good to go. As long as you follow the guidelines prior, you'll be able to multiply the matrices. So I'm Jimmy Chang, and that's a little bit of help with multiplying matrices.